is not going to slip through the cracks. I guarantee you that. I wasn't trying to do that, I swear.
Oh my God! He did it! Flutie did it!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all around the world, we bring you another ripping edition of the Dan vs. D Sports and Stuff podcast with the initials DVD, as in DVD player. I'm your player, D with 2 E's, and always my running mate is...
Dan with an A-N.
That's right. And we got a special guest in the house tonight. He's making his second appearance.
The first ever repeat guest, by the way.
Repeat!
Back by popular demand.
Popular demand.
Pop.
Pop.
I'm Chris.
It's my dad.
Hi, everyone.
And we're back to talk some more Boston sports. It's
That's
Boston
right.
Bro Out 2.
That's right.
No,
I just flew in from Boston.
Boston Bro Out harder.
Yo, may I state that like it's still like foreign me referring to a friend's parent by their first name, because of like, you know, the whole respect aspect just from me being raised and all. It's still kind of weird. It's like back like in our alma mater, how we didn't have any superiority thing.
Yeah, right.
They refer to teachers by their first name. While like if you was at a mainstream school, if you did that, people would mentally wring your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also part of the Quaker thing, was that we always called our professors by the first name. So like, I think of our faculty advisor as Jeff. He was always Jeff to me.
Well, it's perfectly okay with me.
But anyway.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so here we are. We've got like a nice trio panel here again. Casey's in the room, but I think she's playing video games.
She is. And the cat.
So,
and don't forget the kitty.
And the kitty. So we got a 5-person panel is what we got. Yeah, how are we feeling about football so far?
Well, can I just go ahead and hit him with the list real quick, man? Because I got some things to show. Let's just go off my chest.
Oh, we're going to jump straight in?
Let's just jump right in. Because like, I'm going to do it quicker this time, and then just like vent my thoughts, and then y'all tell me your thoughts. You agree, disagree, or just tell me what you think, or who is on the list. Tell me who should be.
All right.
If I'm being too harsh on a team.
Well, back by popular demand, it's D's Heat List.
Ow! It's just so perplexing. I hate them. Gonna get eliminated in the first or second round every year. What were you smoking, or what gave you any ounce of a tip of an idea of it being a good idea? I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
The Heat List.
So we're gonna do it like a little bit more structured, so like, and a little bit quicker, because I thought it took like a lot of time last time. So we're gonna kinks out.
It was a good conversation, though.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like really like do some quick hits on people who really got on my nerves, really. So again, this is gonna be football. So I got like 3 in mind, but I got like 2 honorable mentions right now. So I'm just gonna do the honorable mentions. We'll talk about them later in more detail for obvious reasons, because we're fans of this specific team. Dishonorable mention is Patriots' lack of pass catchers and lack of pass defense. Not very good.
That was brutal.
I know, it was.
We'll get to that one later, but 374 passing yards allowed to Blake Bortles. Psh, come on, guys. Get it together.
What is it with us getting torched by Bortles?
Yeah.
Or Foles. Or Foils.
Blake Fortles?
Foils.
Blick Fort? No, let's keep going.
And this honorable mention number 2 is the Buffalo Bills, because they suck. And that's all I gotta say, because all you gotta do is just watch him play for a few minutes, and then you'll know why. So, and I'm not gonna give him a whole bunch of time, because they were on the heat list last week, and they don't deserve my time. So,
Will they be calling in?
huh?
I don't.
The Bills, will they be calling in? Are they going to call in?
I
Can they rebut any of
They
that?
already know. They already know what their team is.
I was
right
going to
now.
say I don't think they need us to tell them they suck.
Oh, okay.
They're too busy like jumping off like from the hood of the cars onto like flaming tables.
Right?
So-
Yeah. Bills, hashtag Bills Mafia.
You gotta admit that that's pretty hardcore.
That is pretty fun.
Yeah.
That was fun for like a year, but they've kind of taken it too far now. But the thing is, here's why I brought up the picks, because my lock of the week every week when I play Eliminator is I pick whoever's playing the Bills. They've replaced the Browns.
I got another team that probably replaced even the Bills, trying to replace the Browns. They're gonna be foreshadowing. They're gonna be on the heat list. You probably might have forgot about this team because they're just that terrible right now. But number 3.
Seattle.
Yeah, but they got more talent. But I'll get to that. Number
They
3.
have one good player.
Number 3. The field goal kicking. Field goals missed all around the league. Like the names, Zane Gonzalez of the Cleveland Browns, missing extra points, missing possible game time field goals, literally costing him his job.
Right.
I give him a little bit of a pass because I guess when you're part of that Cleveland culture, it just seems like, bad stuff just happens to you. Just you being associated with the Cleveland Browns. But even watching that, it was painful.
It hurt.
Like that hurt. But
Was that because they played the Saints?
they
right?
played the Saints. They had the lead, but then they just derped around, and then the Saints realized, okay, we're playing the Browns, and they have Drew Brees. So they eventually came back, and they had a field goal kicker that took the lead because, he's not Zane Gonzalez.
Well, dude, wasn't that the game where the Saints kicker went over to the guy after the game
Yes.
and gave him a pat on the shoulder and said, "Look, dude, it's gonna be okay."
Yeah.
It's bad when your opponent has to come and apologize to you afterwards.
I think Will Lutz knew he was going to get canned.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Will Watts is a great name, by the way. Lil Watts.
But it's just it's hard seeing somebody go through that.
It is.
It's
with Aguayo too. A few years ago, the guy that was drafted in the second round or something.
Yeah.
Aguayo was just dealing with too unfair high expectations because
Yeah.
they took him in the second round. So most of that, if he was drafted in the 7th round, then and he missed a couple kicks and he got cut, people wouldn't be talking about him like that. But since he got took in the 2nd round,
Right.
man,
And that never happened.
that is such a steep fall that wasn't his fault. That was the Buccaneers pumping his name up astronomically up, and then just fell.
It's real rare to see someone else's imposter syndrome play out in real life, because I think most of us have it just a little bit, but we kind of know logically that there's no reason for us to feel inferior to everyone around us. But man, he really did have a reason to feel that way. Poor guy.
And then, in a note, Zane Gonzalez did have a groin injury. He was I guess trying to work through, but still regardless of what happens, it's just such a cut and dry black and white scene for kickers. You make it,
Right.
or you don't. And if not, if you don't make it, someone's getting fired, either you or the coaches, because money is on the line.
Okay.
But he didn't have the worst game as a kicker. Was Daniel Carlson his name? Let me see. I have it in my records here.
We can edit.
Daniel Carlson. Yep, I was right. Daniel Carlson. Man, he missed 3 field goals in the game. He missed one in regulation, and he missed one in the beginning of overtime when they got the ball,
and then one at the end.
and then at the last seconds, essentially, like there was like 20 seconds left after he missed that second one. But we don't know if they're gonna win because they had Aaron Rodgers on the other side.
Yeah,
Who would you don't know if it was led them to like a touchdown to win. But the fact you missed 2 field goals in overtime, especially that last one, which would have won the game after Minnesota stormed back. I was watching that, and man, that was such a great comeback. Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs, that is going to be that is a great quarterback and wide receiver stack right there. But Daniel Carlson, like I knew if you are playing your arch nemesis, the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, and you have a chance to beat them a couple times in one game, and you don't get it done, somebody's going to take the rap for it. And Carlson didn't have nowhere to run or hide, and he lost his job.
Well, everyone fails in life, but not everyone fails in front of millions of people.
That stage was pretty big, though. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Vikings and Packers, man. Like I kind of knew I was willing to give Zane Gonzalez like a pass, if like the work another week, but I knew Carlson was done.
Right.
When I saw him miss those.
Now I was but a larval human back then, but did you watch the Bills Scott Norwood game live when that happened?
Ooh. Yeah, that was. What did they miss? Like
it was like 1990, I want to say.
Yeah, they
missing left or
they missed more than one. It was a ton of them. They could have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know he missed one at the very end.
He missed left, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like pulled one way, and then they got another chance, and it like went the other way. That was those years when the Bills went to the Super Bowl every year.
And they lost every time.
Yeah, I don't remember who they played against, but anyway.
That one was the Giants.
Yeah, and it got to the
Bill
point where the people it got to the point where the people up there didn't even want them to. They were like, we don't want them. We don't want them to go and lose again. It was 4 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, at one point they lost to the Cowboys 2 years in a row. And yeah, it's rare for failure too, because like in our lives. We might screw something up at work or something bad might happen like financially, but like it's very rare in like real life for like failure to be so cut and dry.
Yeah. Unless like
it's
you're
either
working
100
for
or 0.
Unless you're working for like a big successful company where millions of dollars are on the line based off the decision that you make. That's kind of what these kickers are. Well, everybody really. Well, but especially the kickers.
Even in like the business world. Sometimes, you do have decisions you make that are complete and utter failure, but like most of the time it might be like a 30-70 kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where like your company might be able, say you have a disastrous product launch, your company probably still was able to make some money back. This is all or literally nothing.
But
feast or famine.
But you remember, does that come with a sword? Sword of feast and famine? Magic the Gathering reference for today.
That's a deep cut for our sports fan audiences. But like the Magic the Gathering reference.
I also want to give a shout out to Young Wei Koo because last year, same thing. They wheeled him out a couple of games. He won the starting job for the Chargers. Had a possible game winner blocked. Then he missed one wide the next, and then he was cut. So and then he was a rookie. So a couple misses, you're gone.
Why do you blame a guy for getting a kick blocked too? I don't understand.
I don't understand that either. But then again, the Chargers were pretty much like a field goal kicker away, and then they're still, I think. Well, I don't know who's their kicker now, but that was just it was kind of like the Buccaneers. They just didn't have no one who could really consistently kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two guys, Zane Gonzalez, Daniel Carlson, like best luck in your future endeavors. That's what WWE says when they fire their employees. But
I hope they at least got a couple game checks. That's
well, they didn't have a chance to prove themselves yet. I mean, Gostkowski missed an extra point in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he's missed a lot of kicks lately.
A couple of years ago, was the Super Bowl that they lost? Or maybe it was an AFC Championship game.
It was the one against
AFC Championship game,
not Denver.
Yes.
Or was it Denver?
It was Denver.
It was the AFC Championship game against Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't make it for 2.
Yep.
I mean, but how long has he been around? They know he's good. They know generally he's... But I think every season he has a period of time where he goes to a little bit of a slump.
He does, and that's expected. But the thing is, though, he does have like that seniority, like that of that name.
Yes.
Because
that's what happens. You get some big games under your belt, and I mean, Vinatieri's still kicking.
Yeah,
he's three away from the record, tying the record of Morton Anderson.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
and
I hope he breaks it.
That's the thing. It's not like he's never missed a kick in his
career.
I
know he did too. He's gone through times.
He's missed ones at the end of games. It's just that he has the reputation.
The fact that he's kicking, he kicked like another 10 years after we let him go.
Oh, I know. Longer than that.
Man,
he got signed by the Colts after they cut Mike Vanderjag. Remember?
Is he the leader in points now? He must be.
Vinatieri?
He must be.
Isn't he close?
I know in terms of field goals made, he's 3 away from Morton Anderson. I don't know in terms of points.
Because I know Morton Anderson is the all-time leading scorer in NFL history, right?
Yeah.
Is he still?
I think so. If you look, you got to look that up for the confirm. Yeah. But point is, this past week, kickers, it was terrible. Hope those 2 guys get it together. Number 2, you mentioned.
Are we counting backwards?
3, 2, 1. I'm going from the least offensive to most offensive.
Confused me too.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Last one was number 3.
Yep. It's funny that y'all mentioned field goal kicking and mentioning the Giants, because that's a perfect segue for number 2.
Oh God.
It is the Giants as an offensive unit. Not offensive in scoring points, but offensive.
Oh, they are offensive.
Because
they always have been.
That game.
Hashtag offended.
That game, based off their talent on paper, they should destroy the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, I don't think the Cowboys.
The Cowboys aren't that good,
no.
But the Cowboys got a good defense.
Yeah,
but they do. They may actually difficult. Well, on Carolina, which does not really say much because their offense is kind of trashy right now, especially with Greg Olsen out. Get well, buddy. But the main story is they drafted Saquon Barkley, but they don't have nobody to make holes. They don't have nobody to protect Eli Manning.
Nope.
Try and Google whenever you get a chance, Eli Manning sack dirt face or something. He's has this look on his face as if...
That's just the look he always has on his face.
No, this is different though. This is different. This is what did I get myself into? 6 sacks allowed. He had no time to throw. You have, Odell Beckham Jr., Saquon Barkley, what was his name? Sterling something? What was his name?
Sterling Shepard?
Shepard. You have all this offense, and then Evan Ingram, all this offensive talent, and they just could not get anything done because the offensive line is so bad. That's why they get my heat for number 2, because when I watched the game, I was waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And nothing ever did except Eli was running for his life. If you want to see a quarterback having a terrible line work against him, and you want to strip off the athleticism of Russell Wilson, that's what you get. Yeah. You got Eli Manning running out of lives on the field and just getting sacked.
How many times did he get sacked in that game?
6.
Yeah, I know it was a lot.
6 times.
Consider this: they could have had Sam Darnold.
But even then, he would have went the way of this line is so bad. They would have turned him from Sam Darnold into David Carr. That line is that bad. And I keep hearing Eric Flowers' name thrown in there as just being probably one of the worst linemen in the league. It's terrible. It's putrid. You have OBJ and those boys, and they don't even have enough time to get them the ball.
I know the calculus is always different in football, but I don't know why the Giants haven't rebuilt by now. Because I know they have an elite talent in OBJ and they just paid him, but I don't know about you, but I don't see a path forward for them. I really don't.
No, they haven't made any big changes that I can see either. And what's going to happen is I don't think Eli's going to play too much longer, is he?
He's 37.
Yeah. So what's going to happen then? He does not look good, and he hasn't looked good for several years.
And that was my point bringing up Darnold, is they intentionally went and drafted another skill position instead of a quarterback. And
or just someone from the off for a lineman.
Yeah.
Which is their biggest need.
Yeah. But
they did have Davis Webb, and then they let him go. remember those talks of him being they were going to groom him to be the next quarterback after he retired? They gave him that real quick. They didn't even give him 2 years for that, man. Shoot, Brian Hoyer was given more time than that. and he was able to get jobs elsewhere afterwards.
Brian Hoyer played behind Brady.
Yeah.
You know how that works?
But here's
not much.
But here's the bad thing about it, though. If you thought James White being our leading receiver last week against the Jags was bad, Saquon Barkley had 14 catches.
Yeah, because they just did nothing but check down.
Because the line was so bad. If that doesn't speak volumes about how bad your line is, I don't know what is.
Right.
And number one, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them because I haven't watched them much. But just looking at their stat line, they're easily the worst team in football right now. They got crushed by the Redskins. Got crushed by their division rival in the Rams, if you can call them a rival. You probably forgot this team even existed. The Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, I still think the Bills are worse.
Yeah.
But make your case.
Okay.
Explain to me, tell me why I'm wrong.
They just don't have no offense. Sam Bradford just cannot move the ball. They're still waiting on that potential. It's kind of like the Jay Cutler effect. He'll be good someday. He'll be good.
Sam Bradford was the first overall pick in 2009, I want to say.
That's right.
It ain't gonna happen.
Look,
the Bills are worse.
No, actually, no, it was before that because I remember my first year of college seeing it was the Rams and the Seahawks. Winning, you're in. And Sam Bradford was doing good, but he just didn't have no receivers around, and they lost to the Seahawks. And I think that was the Marshawn Lynch, a week later, that was the Marshawn Lynch game against the Saints.
Yep.
But the Arizona, they did not have someone retire at halftime.
That is true. That is true.
There we go.
That's all the proof we need right there. This is the worst team in the league. The Buffalo Bills.
Well,
and what did he say? Because there was no professionalism. There was no,
The guy just went into the locker room and said, I'm done. Bye.
Have a nice day. And then tweeted when he was in his car driving home.
That was more of he was trying to see if he still had it, but then he was nah, I don't have it.
But I don't think he was a terrible... was he... I did not see that game. Was he terrible in the game?
I remember
Did he get burned?
I think so. He got burned on some, and I think he, when he was doing a tweet, he was saying that, he was just, confirming that he couldn't do it anymore. I guess because he's been there for a while. And plus, not to mention, he's dealt with numerous injuries.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just the Arizona Cardinals don't seem like they just. You're getting blown out by the Redskins. Alex Smith led Redskins. And they don't really have that much talent. They have talent, but their receivers aren't really... they didn't really have much chemistry with their receivers yet, Alex Smith. But the fact that an aged Adrian Peterson torched you guys, that's pretty bad for a defense. And that defense could benefit from the Honey Badger right now. But guess what? He's with the Texans now.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, and their defense is old and aged and battered. They don't have any offense. Their best weapon is David Johnson. David Johnson, and they.
You play fantasy. How do you not know his name?
Because I didn't draft him. I couldn't.
No, I didn't.
But it's just, and from what I've heard from the game with the Rams, it seemed I heard they just couldn't make it past the 50-yard line until the fourth quarter. It's they have nothing. They
have nothing, and there's
they have a running back that they paid, but they just don't have anything. The line is bad, the defense is bad. They're paying this money for a quarterback that's bad, and if he is good, he won't be good enough until he's good enough, long enough to until an injury happens. We can make it a tie between the Bills and the Cardinals, but I don't know. It's like the Bills are always like mediocre, but like it seemed like compared to like the previous years, Arizona has probably had easily the furthest drop.
So you're not excited about Josh Rosen?
He needs to be playing, which I don't know why they're not putting the trigger on him.
Yeah, I don't understand this like veteran retread BS. Because like once you're at that point, when you know you're that bad, why not just play the kid? And let him develop.
I mean, look at this. Arizona edges the Bills because they haven't been like, okay, well, yeah, let's go ahead and put the rookie in and see what we have. They're hanging on to Sam Bradford. At least the Bills gave Nathan Peterman the hook after like the
Hold on though. Hold on. Okay, coming into this season, that one half where the dude threw 5 picks, that's all you friggin' need to see to know that you should never start that guy again.
All right.
And they started him anyway.
That's right. They did.
So, I'm sorry, that doesn't hold water for me.
Well, I'm just spreading the love and the fire to like another team because I torched the Bills last week.
Play the kid and see what he's got. He's got nothing.
Yeah.
That is like
that was bad.
It's rare as the time when you see a guy actually see play that redefines like what you know about the sport.
Man.
You know, that actually teaches you new things about it because you just didn't know that it was like possible to be that bad.
Man. Well, okay. Y'all made your points. It's a draw. Cardinals/Bills. They want to put the Bills in there because they're not worth my time, but they're still very bad and know the whole Vontae Davis thing. We can talk more about that, but yeah.
Let's.
The Bills are going to travel to the Vikings this week.
Oh God.
That's not going to be an easy
But
time.
yeah. So the kickers, Giants offensive line, and Bills/Arizona Cardinals. That was my list.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's talk about Vontae Davis some more.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So, yeah. What did you think of that when you saw that? Because I don't think any of us actually watched that game. Because
I didn't watch the game. I saw a highlight pop up on my iPad.
I saw the Bleacher Report. And
I've never heard of anyone quitting at halftime. And I thought maybe something happened. Maybe he broke his leg. You know what I mean? Something.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he got carted off the field. And then decided, I'm not going to go through all this rehab again. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then I read further and saw that he had just quit. He mentally quit. And I think one of his reasons for that was supposedly not only what was going on. He felt it was a lack of effort by the team in general. I think from the top all the way on down, from the main office all the way down through the player. He didn't see that, and so he didn't feel like.
Why should I bust it for these guys?
Why should I risk my health and everything any longer on this team? And they were getting shelled, and it's not going to get any easier for him either.
Yeah.
Plus, he's been in the league for like 10 years, and plus he's had like several like injuries.
Right.
So like, I guess he also probably looked at, hey, I'm trying to chase out these young guns, these young guys, and it's like I ain't got it anymore.
Okay. Here's a fun thought experiment. Because we've heard the okay, what would be the worst job to walk out from? But here's more of a personal touch. So first Chris, then D. What would it take? How bad would it have to get for you to do that to a job that you worked? What would it take for you to get up in the middle of a workday and just leave and never come back?
When they decide like they're not going to pay me but still want me to work.
I don't take.
Jeez, that would have
someone on your desk.
No, it would have to be a lot. I work for the government, so I work for the government, so my job is kind of sort of important. So I don't.
You get an AWOL.
Me to get up and walk out.
You get an AWOL mark, wouldn't you?
I will. Well, I'm not in the military, but I work as a civilian for the government. I will say that I've thought more about retirement in the last 6 months than I have in the other previous time in my life. It would take a lot. I do. I enjoy my job, and it's an important job. I can't imagine just going, see you later, I'm done, and walking out, But I think it's on a different scale, too. if you make millions of dollars and money isn't a factor for you,
True.
I work to pay bills, and I don't think most professional athletes these days, with what they make, I think it's kind of a different story. They're not worrying about, paying off, people's college and, paying the electric bill and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of on a different scale, but yeah, it would take an awful lot, I think.
And plus, I want to
walk away from a government job.
Yeah, also I want to put in perspective too, you're coming from a different perspective. You're an older gentleman as opposed to
I'm no gentleman, young man.
No,
your words, not mine.
He's a rough man.
But I'm saying you're a seasoned veteran compared to me and your offspring that sit to the left of me here.
Right.
So us as young people, we're more we don't have families yet. We don't have we have some bills and stuff, but really, there's nothing too much keeping us from it's easier, I guess, for us to walk out of a job,
Right.
than as opposed to someone who's been in the game for a while and probably has found their peace or is content with a job and it's okay, well, there's nuances here, but I'm not gonna just walk
Right.
out that's not me. So that's just. I think there's just a difference in terms of generations.
Right, but for a professional athlete, you have to think, I think this is why you never really see this. It's because I think they make a commitment at the beginning of the year. I'm going to play this year. Uh-huh. And, what goes into that is all that BS about training camp, all that stuff they have to do to prepare to get on the field. Imagine going through all that. And it was it the second game?
It was week 2.
It was week 2. And then literally in the second game of the year just saying, well, now I've suddenly realized that, this isn't for me. That's astounding to me. I don't know.
The Bills.
Or you've seen some people go to training camp and then say, no, I'm done. And I think that a lot of times is the team approaches them and says, look, we're going to cut you. I think it happened with New England this year. Didn't they have someone in camp? Maybe it was another team. I don't know. I forget.
Didn't they have Eric Decker in camp this year?
Decker. That's what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Decker. And I think they kind of went to him and said, look, we're going to cut you. And, and gave him a couple of days and he just came forward and said, no, I've decided to retire. Rather than having the press that it's being cut. But that's before the season. If he did well, and he didn't catch a ball at all in preseason. He looked terrible.
Yeah.
And he was somebody that burned the Patriots every time he played them when he was on another team. I actually thought, geez, if he had a good season left in him, that could be a good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
shame, but he shredded his knee a couple of years ago, I want to say, right?
Yeah. But he obviously was, didn't have it. And that, I don't have any.
He was. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that at all because the season hadn't started yet. It'd be like if he went through all that and then made the team, and then week 2, all of a sudden, football isn't my thing.
To be fair, though, he lost a lot of his gas, though. By the time he got to Tennessee, because after the Jets years, his prime. You could tell his prime years was gone.
Right. Usually, every other year or so, New England brings in someone like that. They bring in somebody late in their career, and they see if they can just squeeze a year out of them. A year or two out of them.
Same thing with Ochocinco.
Right. That's right. He didn't even make the team.
Yep.
He didn't really contribute. Yeah. He made a couple passes.
Yeah, and he was so in preseason too. So I did find it a little. This is probably off topic, but I did find it a little surprising that Etling didn't make the team, although he's on the practice squad now.
Who?
The backup quarterback from New England, Danny Etling.
Oh,
they got him in the
that was the guy. That was the guy that they drafted him, right?
Yeah, they drafted him pretty high, and he didn't make. They cut him. And he did good in preseason.
Who's the backup?
So wait, who's the backup?
Brian Hoyer.
Oh, Hoyer. Still got Hoyer back here.
And then this week they signed another quarterback.
Huh.
New England signed another quarterback. I do not know who it is.
I wish it was Jimmy Garoppolo still in there.
Yeah, me too.
No,
He's my personal favorite.
Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
We'll see. He's been a little rocky so far.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be the savior that they thought he was.
It's called playing with the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean...
they're not a complete team yet.
It was too early after those, 6 games to proclaim him as the guy, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting about that, especially just as, a thought experiment, because, I went through, and I won't give any details, but I went through a really, really difficult situation at the end of last year at my previous job. And let me tell you, Casey and I used to work at the same place. And there were some days that I, legitimately, and I'm dead serious, was maybe 60-40, with the 40 being, I'm going to get up and walk out of here, right now.
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad.
40, as you was going to run out of there and you're going to show a 40 time?
I was that close. And again, no point in giving details, but, it was just a terrible situation, and I was that pissed off about it that I was, ready to just literally walk out.
I remember you had, some negative feelings about it. I didn't know if it ran that deep.
Oh, it was bad, dude.
Man.
But your point is well taken, Chris, that, it's a different situation because it's not like I made a full year commitment to the company and to, my specific department and stuff like that, It's different in, the outside world, the corporate world, but...
Right.
But may I add, though, you was, to be fair, you was the OG back when they were under a different name, and then they changed it. It's kind of like the equivalent of the team that you was originally part of, the coaching staff getting fired and bringing in a new staff, and then changing the culture that does not fit with your skill set or your personality, and they're just trying to squeeze a square peg in a round hole, and it's just frustrating for the player involved trying to find ways and reasons to play for this new coach.
Think of it this way. I'll give a good sports metaphor for what happened there. Remember when Jeter came in and took over the Marlins?
Yeah.
And literally has no idea what the fuck he's doing. And they just said, okay, we don't care about winning baseball. We don't care about attracting fans. We're going to gut the team, and we're going to just collect revenue sharing money.
Yeah.
And we literally don't care if no one buys tickets because we're still making money. That basically it was like that.
Damn.
I was like Christian Yelich.
Ooh.
Except it turns out Christian Yelich is a possible NL MVP, and I ended up in a much better situation with a different company. So it kind of all comes full circle.
There you go.
Never would have thought of Christian Yelich as being my spirit animal. There you go. Okay, so we need to talk about something.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You saw what I put in the notes.
I saw it. I like how it's in all caps. The only thing it's missing is Comic Sans.
Alright, hold on. Before we do anything.
3rd down and 1 at the 2. High formation. Toss to Crowell. Runs left. He gets hit. He's at the goal line. He's in. That's a Jet touchdown. Another rushing touchdown for the old Brown, Isaiah Crowell, as he victimizes his own team for the 2nd time here in the first half.
Watch him victimize him this way.
7:54 to go before halftime, and the Jets have opened up a 13-0 lead.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So, if you're living under a rock, or maybe you just don't ever get on... Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, if you're living under a rock, or maybe you just never get on Twitter, or just have never watched TV ever in your life, you may not have seen the Isaiah Crowell touchdown celebration that occurred on Thursday night.
My God.
Let me describe it for you. So, it was a nice little sweet play from...
Wait, did you say sweet?
A sweet.
Sweet.
You might even call it a white play to the left. Isaiah Crowell gets the ball in a running play, and he carries that brown log of a football into the end zone. He just slides right in and drops in. And then he gets up and he faces the Browns crowd And Chris, what does he do with the football?
He cleanses it between his...
Cleanse it. He violates it.
He
He can't even say it.
He can't even say it. He's dead.
It was the whole long thing, man. Your whole Hinton toilet analogy.
He proceeded to wipe himself with the football.
Yes. He pretended.
He pretended.
He pretended that the football. Now this is interesting because the football is oblong and it's brown, and you'd think that's the sort of easy metaphor like Doug Baldwin did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But no, he pretended the football was toilet paper and that he was wiping off his ass.
He didn't just do one wipe. He did like 3 good wipes. Like he made sure he got in there.
Yeah,
Well, it's good to know that he was clean. He was trying to be clean.
Next to a bidet, that's about the cleanest you're gonna get back there.
Yeah.
That was, he was scraping, man.
And he had the audacity to throw it in the stands. So that means somebody caught
went
that.
with that football.
That stinks.
Can you imagine like the dilemma?
No.
Being a fan, like you want a Sooner football, but you realize where it came from.
No, you gotta hear me out. Do you know how much more that football is worth
Yes.
now? Because he did that.
Dude, I would pay money for that football. I would absolutely display that shit in my house.
Gary sees a wild football. Enjoy.
You display that
Now that's what I call a sticky situation.
Oh my god.
I like how. Do you think it would like actually be noticeable because the football is also brown?
Oh God, I hope not. Oh man.
Did he get fined? I mean, I know he got a penalty.
I'm sure he
Did
did.
he get fined?
Now, so this article I pulled up is the coach saying his touchdown celebration was inexcusable.
It will be probably if not now, Monday he's gonna have
and
like
celebrated with a
letters in his
distasteful
locker.
gesture.
Yes, Randy Moss got fined.
Yeah.
When he did it, or did something similar. I think he just clenched his butt cheeks out or something.
No, he pretended to pull his pants down.
Oh, that's right.
He pretended to pull his hands down and moon the crowd.
Which is a ritual that the Packers fans do to the visiting team.
That's right.
So if they
To
have
their
anyone
bus.
to blame the fans that do that in the first place.
I'm just curious how differently they'll handle it.
Yeah.
Or if they'll handle it differently.
Oh, he's gonna
Right.
get fined, no doubt, though.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing really stinks.
No, man. Like if Wes Welker can get fined for making a snow angel, this is not gonna slip through the cracks. I guarantee you that. I wasn't trying to do that. I swear.
Oh my God! He did it! Flutie did it!
Oh my God! Slipped through the cracks. I swear I was not trying to do that. I was
my
trying not to
God.
make no butt puns.
I think I'm gonna.
Are these butt puns or butt buns?
I know what a stroke feels like right now.
Oh my
Hey,
God!
these aren't your dad's puns. They're turbo buns.
Oh.
Oh!
Hey, while we're on the subject of butts, like talk about the time with your whole butt puns in for the school newspaper.
What?
Oh, that's right.
Who said that at the end?
I remember there was like one night in the newspaper office. We were laying out the paper. We were doing the sports page, and I just I wasn't even really thinking too hard about it. Because I think I was the one that like originally laid out the page. But it was like, I wasn't really thinking about like the rule of thirds or any of that sort of like design stuff. I was just kind of like putting the photo artfully on there, and it was a big full page spread, and it was of like the school offensive line kind of getting set ready for a play.
Butts.
And there was just this big, juicy offensive lineman ass.
Oh, hunched over?
Just hunched
Well,
over.
they're college, which means they're nice and tight and lean, which is just juicy.
Just sticking out right in the middle of the photo. And
Not D1 juicy though.
And was it, Casey, was it you that actually brought up, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have, like, his butt be, like, the focal point?
Yeah, my job was a photo editor, so I was like, maybe we shouldn't have a giant ass on the middle of the page because everyone's going to be talking about it, and Jeff would be like, okay, really shouldn't talk about butts. You're in college. Come on.
And so...
Good point.
And I can't... Because I made butt puns that whole night, but I specifically remember... because the sports page was always the back page of the newspaper, right?
Yep, that's
So-
where it started because it was on the rear of the paper.
So it was like,
Perfect.
but Casey...
But Dan...
I would feel like an ass putting such a juicy, well-rounded photo on the rear end of the newspaper.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Now,
Oh.
And it like started there, but we
Devolved.
literally
Devolved.
we spent the whole night making butt puns. I remember that very clearly even now.
before I lose my train of thought on this one I'm actually trying on this one here. The first slip through the cracks one, that was accidental. But
That
this was on purpose though.
I love you so
Isaiah
much.
Crowell just put a new meaning of butt fumble.
Oh!
And it's the Jets. So they're known for the butt fumble. So,
That's true.
boom, there we go.
That's one of my big regrets in life is that this podcast didn't exist when the butt fumble happened.
I know.
That makes
It
me
could have been
sad.
an entire episode.
I still laugh my butt off about. I'm still laughing my butt off with him.
You know
Like,
our
I saw
Sanchez
that
is
live. I saw
Yep.
it live when he just
Yep.
like ran his head in. I was like, what just happened?
too. I ran into a guy's butt and I fumbled.
Oh my.
But anyway, here's what Todd Bowles had to say about this.
Oh,
He said,
boy.
that was inexcusable, Jets coach Todd Bowles said. We addressed it. It will never happen again.
Ooh.
I love when football men have to be all serious about something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here's what Crowell said. He said afterward the celebration was not rehearsed. He also said it had nothing to do with the game being in Cleveland. You have to play the game with passion, he said. That's how I play. I did it, so I have to suffer whatever consequence come with it.
Oh.
I just have to control myself. I don't feel like it had anything to do with the stadium I was at. I just feel like it happened in the spur of the moment.
So is it safe to say that he got an ass chewing?
Ah!
I mean,
Oh man. What a butthead.
like Cleveland has been the butt of a lot of jokes. So, and this is the team that released him or didn't pay him enough. I don't know if they cut him or he just left for free agency.
I got rid of him.
Yeah, so that was a revenge there. So,
Oh my God. This has
then,
made my life. I don't even care about sports anymore. I just want to talk about this for the rest of my life.
well, while this is going on, remember after the Week 2 game of the Buccaneers game, we saw Conor McGregor in the press conference.
Did you see that?
No.
Just
Hold on.
Google the image of Week 2 press conference with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, hold on.
They look alike.
No.
They really do.
No, but first, you remember this, right? He looked from years ago where he looked like the Great Deku Tree from Zelda. And then...
It looks like a discount Santa.
Oh my
And then
God.
he came out looking like that.
That's right. I did see that. I did see
Looking
that.
sexy, man.
Hard to believe he went to Harvard.
He looks like a virile Santa Claus.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right. I did see that. They awarded him something for the best post-game look.
Is that like the Santa Claus for the millennials?
He looks like he has a beard like a Civil War general.
No, he really does. He has a Civil War general name, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
But
Colonel Fitzpatrick.
Colonel Fitzpatrick.
But you cannot.
I need you to take that hill.
But you
Colonel Fitzpatrick with the 69th Maine.
take that hill.
But you cannot argue the swag that he is just sweating right now. Look at this.
And that's my point. And that was my point with my beard picture is when you're feeling yourself, you gotta feel it. You gotta ride that feeling, man.
I know I do.
I mean, didn't he throw for another 400 yards that game?
Yep. Oh, he's crying Jordan.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
That's
That
awful.
is terrifying.
He looks like Zeus. He's Zeus.
It's been a while since I've seen a crying
Crying
Jordan
Jordan.
meme that creative. So we've kind of done all of this. I guess we didn't really do a true NFL preview.
Oh, wait, I'm getting an update. Wait.
Oh.
Wait, my phone here.
Caller, could you please turn down your radio?
Yo, what? Say
Caller.
What? Wait. Tyrod was out? Okay. Wait. Baker Mayfield, the rookie's in? Wait. Okay, it's 0-0. Browns have more points than the Jets.
I thought you turned off his cell phone.
Wait, it's over? They won? They won? Wait, the fans get beer? Wait. Oh my gosh, Cleveland Browns won Thursday night.
What?
They won a game for the first time in like
3 years. Are they burning cars and?
I don't know. I just know they got free beer.
Hold on a second. So, okay. So Cleveland won a game, right?
Cleveland won a game! Woo!
And it was in the same game that Isaiah Crowell did his disgusting act.
So what are you trying to say?
I think we have a new superstition born in Cleveland.
Oh, not a good one either.
The rally shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna have fans waving poop emojis, dude. It's gonna happen.
Weren't they like already doing that though?
They should.
I mean,
they should have been.
Cleveland should seize on the poop emoji phrase for sure.
I mean, ain't there like jerseys sort of like that anyway though?
Yeah, they kind of are. They just are running turds.
I mean, they're the Cleveland Browns.
Oh my God, that's true.
What can Brown do for you?
Please don't drag Troy Brown's name in the mud.
Oh man.
You started something. I hope you know that.
This is devolving quickly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't get enough of it.
To be fair, we did talk about dicks in one episode, so we're just talking about butts.
There.
Do you know? Do you know the technical term for a butt crack?
Oh no! Don't.
Yeah. No. What is it?
Gluteal cleft.
Oh, thank you. I'm never thinking it the same way. I think this whole episode.
Guess what, buddy?
White.
Guess what? You just named the episode.
Yes.
Gluteal cleft.
I like it.
I'm sorry. It was supposed to be Boston Bro Out too, but no.
You can do Boston Bro Out 2 /gluteal cleft.
Yeah, I like that better.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I completely derailed this away from the Browns.
Oh man.
How do you feel about the Browns?
I think we should just wipe this whole episode. The Browns, I think, they made a lot of changes in the offseason. I think they went a long way to making their team better. I think they can do pretty good this year. They don't look terrible.
No, they've been in all their games.
Even last year, a lot of the games that they lost were like right at the end, or remember that right near the end of the season they fought the Steelers, who were a much better team last year. They fought the Steelers tooth and nail right to the end. I think they were down twice in the game, big, and came back both times. I don't think Cleveland is a terrible team.
Cleveland wasn't that terrible of a team last year. It's just like they just did not. They threw a guy in at quarterback, rookie. He was rookie at the time, Deshaun Kaiser. Yeah. He obviously wasn't ready for the big show, and like he threw a lot of like red zone interceptions. He threw a ton of picks, and you take away some of those turnovers or fumbles, they're easily winning 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll have some sort of decent record this year. I think. I mean, to some degree,
they're leading the Steelers.
I don't think it's going to be. I'm not convinced they're going to have a winning record, but I think they're not going to be 0-16.
Defense is scary though.
Yeah.
And are you now? I'm asking both of you guys. Are y'all a believer in Baker Mayfield, or was it just like beginner's?
I haven't seen enough yet.
Like as in it took him by surprise, and let's wait till teams have a week to prepare for him and then see what he does.
Yeah, I think we need to wait. I don't.
But is he better than Tyrod right now for the team? Because I'm a fan of Tyrod Taylor, and I know you are too.
I like Tyrod, and I want to support him because I feel like he's been treated very unfairly over the course of his career. But it's the same situation as Arizona, where they have this veteran retread in there. We kind of know what he's got. The offense is clearly not built around him, Just throw the kid in there at this point.
It didn't even seem like there was a different, even the commentators were talking about this, there was a different energy level when Mayfield got in there. And they had something that they hadn't had in a while, and that was hope.
Yeah.
Like, and then once he got in, every time he made some plays, then it seemed like there was more like more steam in the runs with
the runs?
Yeah. But what's his name? Carlos Hyde. Like he was running with more steam and like everybody
Steam?
yeah. So
I'm sorry.
overall, like they were just, it seemed like they were a different team as opposed to the first half. Like seemed like they were just sloths.
Yeah.
And Hyde's a good player too, yeah.
Who is?
Hyde, Carlos Hyde. He was a good
I think that's one of the him and from Miami wide receiver.
Jarvis Landry.
Landry was getting he's been making some great catches.
Yeah.
So those two guys
really
are great like acquisitions there.
I think they're gonna make a splash this year. At least more than they did last year, that's for sure. I think they look pretty good.
Watch them finish with a better record than the Steelers.
Oh.
You never know.
I mean, that's a stretch, but I'm less confident about the Steelers.
I know they're going to figure out a way to score points eventually, but like I just don't think they're that good.
No.
I don't see it, man.
No. They don't have a good offensive line, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean...
Better than Eli Manning's Giants and Russell Wilson's Seahawks.
Yeah.
They could get away with it when they had Le'Veon because of his like patience and his ability to kind of pick and choose his spots. But yeah, I just don't see it. And it's kind of weird because like we were kind of down on the Patriots earlier, but like, what AFC team are you picking instead of the Patriots? Instead of like Bill Belichick and Brady, like
Jacksonville. Because they got the defense that actually can win championships. I see. They had us last year if they didn't choke at the end because they pulled us to Seattle. They had us down by 10 and then we came back.
There's something about leading Bill Belichick in the fourth quarter that like
by 10 points.
Makes opposing teams and coaches like shit their pants. I don't know what it is,
but this game they kept stepping on our throats and beat us down even more in the dirt when they already had us down.
Yeah, Jacksonville's defense reminds me of Seattle's defense years ago. Boom, what was it called?
The Legion of Boom.
The Legion of Boom.
And Jalen Ramsey kind of reminds me of a young Richard Sherman. Because remember, he talked the talk and then walked the walk. All you wanted to do was shut him up, but he would shut you down.
Yeah, they're young and they're fast, and they have a lot of energy.
They're hungry.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll have to see. I think they're a very good team.
Do you
if they can get 60% of that out of Blake Bortles too, then they'll be
so while we're on the subject, like I have let's talk about our team, the New England Patriots. Like me as a fan and seeing them like winning all these winning Super Bowls and all, and seeing them at a high standard, I have a different feel about this team. Like I feel like they are not at the quality as we're used to seeing them. I think they're actually. I honestly feel that they look like they're taking like a step back. It seems like I can't explain the feeling, but it seems like that them getting beat down by Jacksonville may not be just like a one game mishap like with the Kansas City Chiefs. It just seems different. Y'all give me your take.
Yeah, I felt the exact same thing. Every year, usually early in the season, they have one or two stinkers. I mean,
this was a beatdown.
Yeah, well,
but they were still in that game though. Like that was not a uncompetitive.
No, what I see them, this to me is an extension of last season. And if there was one problem with the team last year, it was their defense. We saw it in the Steelers game with two plays this last year. They went the length of the field, right? If it wasn't for that one bullshit call in the end zone, Patriots would have lost that game.
Nope.
The whole everything might have looked differently, than the playoff. I thought last year that I remember you saying, Darius, that if your best linebacker is what's his name?
Kyle Van Noy.
Van Noy. I'm not saying, and he's not a bad player, but he's not compared to the defenses that they used to have. I mean, I thought their defense was just poor.
And we got Hightower back too, but we just ain't got no speed.
I don't know if it was because that game was played in 97 degrees, but when I was watching it looked to me like they were just asleep. They had no spark about them, no sense of urgency.
There's no speed at linebacker.
No, not at all. And it was just, I don't know. They look terrible to me. And so I think, looking at it, it looks to me like their defense is an extension of last year, but even worse. It's only been 2 games, but it just, I don't think their defense looks good at all.
All I'm saying, and I don't think their offense is great either because they struggled against. I know the absence of Julian Edelman is big, but when James White is your leading receiver the whole game, that's a cause for concern. Gronk had 15 yards total,
right? And
he's supposed to be the head honcho in the receiving course until Edelman gets back.
They doubled him literally the whole game, every snap.
And so who's gonna pick up the slack? Philip Dorsett, he's not consistent. Chris Hogan, he benefited from both Gronkowski being doubled and someone tending to Edelman, so he was winning one-on-one battles or getting open because they were worried about those 2 guys. And I don't believe we can have Josh Gordon will get on the field. I mean, if he does, he'll probably underperform and we'll cut him because I don't believe in him. I mean, I'm hoping the best for him, but the offense, the offensive line was getting beat by Jacksonville too. Well, a lot of offensive lines do too.
It's hard to judge it just from that.
Yeah, but even then they look kind of shaky against the Texans.
Yeah, they should not have gotten rid of both Cooks and
Amendola.
Well, even him, Amendola played pretty well last year, but he was getting older too. But I thought losing Cooks was huge for them.
We didn't lose him. We traded him.
They traded him. I mean, I thought they should have done more to try to keep him.
Yeah.
I know that they were due to pay him a lot of money, and I always forget his name, the running back,
Deion
Lewis. I can't believe they let both those players go. I think between them both, they were a huge part of their offense last year, and now both of them gone. And really, if you look at it, who do they really have to replace them?
Nobody really. Philip Dorsett, but he's not. He seems
Blunt's gone too, by the way.
Huh?
Oh, I think was Blunt there last year? I can't remember.
No, he was with the Eagles.
Was with the Eagles. Now he's with another team.
Yeah, he's with the Lions now.
Lions. Yeah.
But yeah, they cycle through backs. They're never going to keep a guy there and pay him a whole lot.
Right now, it's Edelman and Gronk or bust. I don't see anybody else picking up the slack. On the stuff with Chris Hogan.
Yeah.
But
I just think they lost too much in the offseason and they really didn't replace it.
Here's I can't believe I'm of the 3 people here, I'm going to be the positive one, but but everything in football is contextual, and I don't disagree with anything either of you guys have said as far as what the team's flaws are. Mm-hmm. But and a huge part, in my opinion, over the years of what's kind of kept the Patriots' run of success going is the just unbelievably awful mismanagement of the other 3 AFC East teams. There has been, and other AFC teams in general, but especially the other AFC East teams, because
the Bills.
If you look at what those other 3 teams have done over these last 18 years or whatever, it's unbelievable how inept they've been at developing talent, at keeping consistency, at all of that stuff. They've whiffed on draft picks. They've done this. They've done that. The Jets had Rex Ryan, who was all bluster and ultimately no actual results.
And Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez, who was all hype and no results. And the Dolphins were okay for 1 or 2 years.
When they had Chad Pennington.
Right, that was a long time ago.
Comeback player of the year.
So, my point being, when you survey the field, because again, football is contextual, even if the Patriots are significantly worse this year, and I think maybe there is an argument for that, but when you survey the field, who are the other best teams in the AFC? Obviously, you have to put the Chiefs there. because they're so fast,
Oh,
and you
man.
do worry about what that team with Patrick Mahomes might do to our secondary.
Mahomes. Ooh.
But and yeah, okay, we just got torched by Blake Bortles. That's not a good look.
I mean,
But-
we got torched by Nick Foles. That wasn't a good look either.
That was super not a good look. It doesn't matter how many friggin' championships we won. People are gonna walk up to, see me wearing a Patriots shirt and gonna walk up to me and go, "Hey man, Philly," for like the rest of my life, and it's gonna be annoying.
I mean, people are like people in my high school were walking past me, coughing Giants.
Yeah.
So try that, experiencing that like day in and day out.
Anyways, no. The point is, I don't know how, because we've seen too much from the way they always seem to figure things out. Even with a kind of crappy roster, they always seem to like kind of whip it up into a 10-11 win team, even in off years. That like, I don't see how this team doesn't play for the AFC title again. I really don't. And until I see it, until I see them lose in, the wild card round to the Chiefs or something, I'm not going to believe it.
I agree with that.
It's been 18 years of this, dude.
It's just,
and every year we go, man, this is the year it's all going to end, and then it never does.
No,
They just
good
got more
point.
work to do.
You're right. I know. A couple of years ago, it was maybe not the last Super Bowl, but the one before that. I think they started the season 2-3.
Yeah, that was the on to Cincinnati year.
Yeah,
it was 2-2.
2-2.
Oh, yeah.
But the 2 was the blowout to the Chiefs. And that's when everybody was like, "Oh, that's
and then they won and they lost." Yeah, it was that's true. I just, from my standpoint, you just look at you don't understand the moves they make. They're always slanted towards they don't like to pay big money to almost
basically anybody
to make to anybody and they will always cut somebody a year early rather than a year late, and I can understand that too, but it just seems like I said, with that Cooks deal, they went through a lot to get him, and
they traded a first round pick for him.
I figured he'd be more than a 1 year
That's
guy.
what I thought.
Yeah. I really wonder why they decided, there had to be, a reason why they felt like he didn't fit with the offense or something.
A lot of times I think that, I'm sure they talk to the player what they want, and players want long deals. And they're not good. They weren't going to give him, 5-year deal at,
Because didn't the Rams immediately extend him when they?
Yeah, and I think that's why the Patriots don't want to lock anyone up for that long.
Yeah.
So they're not going to.
Man.
Yeah.
So they probably just said, well, then trade me, or I think, or they know he wouldn't sign for just a year or two.
What's funny is that they still have the Astros at 23% to win the World Series, which is the highest of any of the teams. The Red Sox have the second highest at 14.
Because the Astros just have a complete team.
And the reason is, I think it's their pitching staff. They have the Braves at a
2.9%.
2.9%. But the way the Dodgers are second best with 19.3% to win the World Series.
They're gonna have to show me something for them to earn that percentage.
But the math that goes into this has a lot to do with past performance, and the Astros have a much better recent record of being good every year.
The math doesn't work.
The math doesn't work. But anyway, so
Episode 1.
So the way the AFC.
AFC?
I'm in football mode.
The AFC East.
But it's going to be weird. So the way that AL playoffs are shaping up, the Red Sox obviously are going to finish with the best record. Mm-hmm. So they're going to play the winner of the wild card game, the play-in game. And that's going to be, right now it's looking very much like it's going to be the Yankees and A's playing each other. But I mean, A's are only 3.5 games back, and something crazy could happen in this last week of the season. And that's the thing. The Astros are going to have to play for it right down to the wire. They can't take time off like the Red Sox are doing to get healthy.
Yeah.
Man, the A's are that close to the Astros?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they really went on a tear the second half of the season. But anyways, so it's going to be weird, right? Because if we do get that playoff matchup with the Yankees again for the first time since, I think, 2004, it'll be in the divisional round instead of the ALCS, which is what we're used to from years ago.
Yeah.
Are y'all got to face the judge?
We might.
Oh.
But it's, that playoff game is basically a coin flip.
Right.
And it, because it's so hard to boil it down to one game anyway.
Right.
And both those teams have great bullpens, so, it's really not going to matter a whole lot in terms of their rotations.
Ooh.
And neither of them have that great rotations anyway.
Man.
It's kind of crazy because the A's, their, best young pitcher, Sean Manaea, he went down and had some injury. No, he didn't have Tommy John, but he had some injury that ended his season.
Ooh.
They had, I think, Jarrell Cotton, their other young guy, did have Tommy John, and they had another guy on their staff have Tommy John.
Ooh.
So, they basically are almost like the 2004 Patriots secondary. They just have, a bunch of, nobodies playing in their rotation.
Right.
And they just have a great bullpen, and that's how they're doing it. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this potential first round matchup of A's or Yankees?
Well, I always like to stay away from the Yankees. I'd rather see them play the A's. I would love to see the A's beat the hell out of the Yankees.
Me too.
And play the A's. I think. Yeah, I mean, if you look at how Price pitches in Yankee Stadium,
You're worried about that.
That doesn't give me a good feeling. And yeah, that's my pick. If I had my choice, I'd rather see them play the A's. I never feel good about the Yankees. Ever.
I'll never forget. I think it was this TV special or something on ESPN that featured the Yankees, of them winning all the chronicling them winning championships, and the title of this show was called "Those Damn Yankees."
Yeah, that's about right.
Damn Yankees.
You got to remember when I was a kid. I remember 1978.
Oh no!
And they had 12-game lead over the Yankees with I don't know how many left. It wasn't a lot. Might have been 20 games left or something. They had a 12-game lead and they blew it. And it went down to a one-game playoff.
Oh, no.
That they lost in Fenway Park. So, yeah, that's Bucky fucking Dent.
No, it's
Is that right? That's right.
Yeah, Bucky Dent.
Bucky
get bent.
Yeah. So I would rather see them play the A's. I think I can handle the A's easier.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, again,
But we'll see.
Yeah, you worry about that kind of patchwork A's rotation, but
yeah, the good thing about it is now it's they're a young team and they don't see the Yankees as a juggernaut.
Yeah,
because that's from the past. That's from a long time ago. So yeah, I think it's going to be great no matter which way it goes. But looking forward to the playoffs. I think it's going to be good this year.
It'll be interesting too because they both they made the playoffs both of the last couple of years and they lost in the divisional round, and so it's a team that had very very quick playoff exits the last 2 years. So and it's most of the same players still there. So they're all kind of feeling we really got to get after it this time, and we don't want to become the Nationals, where we go every year and get blown out every year.
Wow.
They didn't even make the playoffs this year.
No.
Man, for Nationals.
Let's hope not. I think this is our year.
But
I'm going all in.
Yeah, I'm really feeling it. I like it, and I think they're doing the right thing too with Chris Sale, where they've all year they've deliberately held back his innings, held him back. If they have a big lead, they pull him in 5 innings.
Right.
And the whole point is saving his bullets for the playoffs because he's a guy who wears down and probably can't do 200 innings. So they deliberately held him back. And but anyway, so let's talk about the NL playoffs really quickly. So this one really is wide open, and so the Braves clinched the division today.
Woo! Yeah.
So they are NL East champions. Congrats,
again,
buddy. You're going to get to see your team in the playoffs again. It's been a while.
I'm just glad to see us win a division title again.
Everybody said it was going to be the Nats this year.
The Nats.
Nobody bothered to check their facts. No.
Okay, never bet against like a young and hungry team.
So, and I mean, there is a possibility that you guys could finish with the best record in the NL. You're only 2 games behind the Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs have the best record right now?
Or 3 games behind the Cubs, I think.
Ooh.
4 back in the lost column, so probably not, but it's possible.
What if the Braves met up with the Cubs for the NLC, like in the playoffs again?
It'd be interesting. So, if these standings hold up, you guys will play the Dodgers. But you have a better record than them, so you'd be playing. You'd have home field advantage in the series and play Game 5 at home. So, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the weird Walker Buehler, Max Muncy Dodgers?
Ooh, man, the Dodgers always have like great talent on paper, and they still got Kershaw, right?
They got Kershaw, but he may not be their best pitcher anymore. It might actually be Walker Buehler right now. This kid who throws 98.
Wow. For me, it's the Dodgers. They've thrown so much money in this talent, and they've always made, like, the last few years they made deep playoff runs. I mean, they made it to the World Series last year, so maybe they give the hump this year. I don't know. It's hard to tell with them. Like the Braves, I think they would put up a good fight. I don't see them going deep in the playoffs. I'm rooting that they do, because that would just be great in bringing back Atlanta Braves baseball back to prominence. But overall, like, that would be a really tough series going against the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I would still give the advantage to the Dodgers just from sheer like talent, sheer paid for talent versus like our young nucleus, which still needs like some experience to learn how to win the big ones against a team that's vying for a championship. But I'm proud of what they've accomplished.
Yeah. God, between if you added together the cumulative ages of Ronald Acuna and Ozzy Albies, they're still younger than Bartolo Colon.
Big sexy.
You mean colon?
Mets hope aging colon provides a lift. Oh no!
I find it a little strange that suddenly that popped up.
Oh my!
We can't get away from butts.
Butts.
They're always falling behind you, man.
I will never forget one time Casey had this dream of it's real short. This is like she was in this club and a song was playing, and as she told me, as you can recall, all the song was just saying butts to a beat.
Oh, that's where that came from?
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, I'm feeling excited about all the baseball playoffs, because I'm a baseball guy, and that's my thing, man. And
I thought you were gonna say, yeah, I'm really excited about butts, and I'm a butts guy, and that's my thing. I felt like
I like big butts.
Wait, I never forget this wrestler, right? This wrestler named Billy Gunn, but he went by the moniker Mr. Ass. Yes, Mr. Ass, and he had this song. His theme song was like, "I'm an ass man." Dun, dun. Yes, I'm an ass man. Look it up, Mr. Ass.
Wow.
Mr. Ass.
I didn't think we were going to have entertainment tonight. This is good.
Mr. Ass. What? Billy Gunn, a.k.a. Mr. Ass.
You need to make that your show's theme song.
oh my god! Holy crap, dude!
You didn't know?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Mr.
I
Ass.
did not know that.
There's
You're
so
the
many
wrestler.
kinds of butts in the world. It's amazing, isn't
It's
it?
all starting to come together now.
It
It's
really
all-
Oh, and not to mention,
It
there
comes
was...
full circle.
And also there was a former wrestler named Rikishi who was like, he dyed his hair blonde. Like, I think he's like of Samoan descent. And he wore like this big thong, and he had this thing called a stink face. So when someone's like sitting down in the turnbuckle, he would like put his butt and rub his cheeks in their face. Called it the stink face.
I can't even.
Is this like a whole new world for you right now?
What?
Yes! I grew up with this. Less Mr. Ass, but I grew up with Kishi.
Wow.
Yes, wrestling.
I'm just thinking of Assy McGee right now.
That was a weird show.
It was a cartoon on Adult Swim Cartoon Network late at night where it was just a talking butt. And he was like
and legs. Don't forget the legs.
Yeah, it was just like a talking butt with legs. And he was like a cop. And so like when he would hold a gun, he would like hold the gun between the butt cheeks.
Get out!
That was a real show.
Never seen this.
I
This is
wonder-
a great idea.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would be like if he sneezed.
Oh, stop. All right.
I think we've progressed far enough.
I think we're done. Anyway.
Let's flush all this, the rest of this.
Oh. And then wipe the whole episode. Oh.
Oh man, this episode stinks.
Oh.
It's been a fun episode.
I've had a blast. Thanks for having me again.
It's been fun.
Yes. But you forgot to mention the calzones.
Yes, we made calzones today. We learned from the master, the calzone OG.
The godfather of calzone, so to speak.
And I gotta say, man, you talking about some delicious goodness. 10 out of 10.
Good, man. Glad. We all got to keep you guys well fed.
10 out of 10 would destroy diet again.
Well, thanks for enjoying our toilet humor. It's been a real pleasure.
We usually have a sort of semi-serious, sort of motivational.
We do.
Dialogue at the end of the episode.
We did make it out of the hurricane.
Oh,
Hurricane
right.
Florence.
Everyone, us, our families, everyone we know are okay. Not injured, not worse than injured.
Our property's okay.
Yeah.
Largely unaffected by the storm. Our hearts go out to the people that were affected. It's an awful thing that we just have to kind of endure living in this part of the country.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen like a storm like this. Like, I even saw like WWE like talking about it. I guess like talking about the links to the Red Cross, doing donations and stuff. That's what made me really think of like how serious like this was, and it could have been even more serious like on our parts of town.
Yeah, we got very, very lucky where we're all living. That we dodged the worst of it.
Right. I know people not far away that lost everything down at the beach, and so it was a bad situation for a lot of people, but we have to be fortunate that we didn't have any damage or any injuries or anything. So I guess that's my inspiration for today.
As I say about my from my mom, it's like when it came to this storm, all we had to do was just like endure it, get past it, and then move on from it. So now, you had the calm before the storm, then you have the chaos of the storm, and now it's calm again. So like that post-storm calm. Now it's time for us to rebuild and heal.
And relearn. I know that in the last Hurricane Matthew, my parents took some lessons from the lack of prep they had. And they had a lot of flooding in their yard because they didn't drain the creek in their yard. Well, this time around, they drained the creek and had a lot more preparation, so they were a lot safer. So for anyone listening, it's really hard to lose everything. But it's okay to rebuild, and it's okay to relearn, and hopefully your life will get better all before it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'll say, once again, just all the respect in the world for all the first responders. Casey's older brother was like one of the first responders, and just people in the police, policemen, people in the fire department, all those people who didn't really have a choice just didn't have a choice to just go in and
At
just
the Coast Guard?
And the
Coast Guard.
United States Coast Guard, whose
yeah,
crews bravely go into harm's way every day.
So I had a brain fart right there. I was like, what? I know you
I'm
wanted
a
to
little
say
bit-
something. But I
I'm a
was
little
like,
bit biased.
but that's all right.
Just a little bit.
The policemen, fire department, Coast Guard, like all those people who are here to around to protect and serve, who didn't have a choice to run away. And even then, even if you did give them the choice, they probably would still come in and help their fellow man. Thanks for all that you've given, and thank you for your help and your bravery. Is much appreciated, especially during times of like hopelessness and chaos. You guys are there just to help give us hope. So,
Well, think about that, not to make light of that, but like that's the kind of job where seeing some of the awful shit that you see every day, that you could very easily walk away at halftime.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yes.
And no one does, because it's a like commitment, and it means something a little bit more than entertainment.
do it.
I wish I could just hug you all, but I'm not gonna.
Someday you will. And so will Chris.
I will. I will dole out the hugs.
That's
Take care,
true.
everybody. Peace, love, and happiness.
Take it easy. Now, hold on, before we
Log?
damn it.
You mean log off?
I forgot that joke. I was gonna say, before we sign off, I gotta log on to my Google real quick. Anyway.